I do think it's extraordinary how supportive people have been about what I'm trying to do this year, the Making Do thing. Because I get such lovely messages and emails, you know. I've always been slightly defensive because I've always expected people to go, it's all right for you because you've got the money and you don't have to spend it. Not that they'd necessarily speak like that. They might speak more like, oh, it's okay for you. You've already got the money, so you've just chosen not to spend it, you know. And, or even, what you on about, you slimy bastard? You got the money. Why don't you spend it on my market stall, you tight bastard? Could be a bit of that. But I don't know really. It's been really extraordinary. It has been an extraordinary experience. It is now the 5th month of the year, and I do think it's going to get harder. It's not going to get any easier. It's kind of leveled out at the moment. I'm about like that. Like, I won't buy anything. And you know, and every week there's a new challenge. And all the things I've bought this year have been for other people, for my family or my family. That's all. There's a skateboard board has just arrived through the post. What do I mean? The deck. Which, because my son borrowed his teacher's skateboard and promptly broke it in half. So we've had to replace that. So, you know, that is a new skateboard which I bought with my money. But it's not really for me, because if I stand on a skateboard, it's not the board that breaks, it's my coccyx, which isn't very pleasant. So so in that sense, I have bought things. I have definitely bought things this year, but nothing for me personally. And that was really all I set out to do. But even then, even though I haven't bought anything for me personally, the general level of consumption in the family has gone down fractionally. So it has got easier. And a friend just rung me today and is going to send me a load of sweet corn seeds. Isn't that nice? Someone came round last night with a load of asparagus, which is gorgeous, freshly picked asparagus from their garden. Really nice asparagus. Have you noticed, people who've eaten asparagus, have you noticed this interesting fact? I didn't know this until a few years ago. When you eat asparagus, what you've got to do is then go to the loo quite quickly, because it is a mild diuretic. It makes you want to urinate. You go to the loo and you go, because it's this really peculiar smell, and it happens incredibly fast. Faster than you'd think juice could go through your tubes. It's extraordinary. So you eat asparagus, delicious, and then the smell of your urine, because what I thought was there's this one time of the year, basically the asparagus season, where our drains went a bit iffy, and I was like, oh, that's grim. It's not like horrible, it's just like not a wee smell, it's a different smell altogether. And it happens so quickly. Asparagus is extraordinary stuff. I think it's quite good for you. I hope so. Grows really quick. Did you know that? You pick asparagus off a plant, like there's asparagus, and you pick them, and then the next day, they've grown back, new ones. It takes a few years for the roots to take hold. There's a little gardening tip from Bobby Lou. Anyway, so I haven't bought anything for all that time, and it has made me a little bit kind of dour. And the other day we had a discussion, my wonderful supportive wife and I had a discussion about the van, because we have this mashed up, battered old van, which I quite like, because it's the antithesis of a flash vehicle. So, you know, you do the school run, and there's other people in their Discoveries and their Bugattis, no, not Bugattis, what are they called? I don't know, flash cars, BMWs, and Porsche Cayennes, really not keen on them. And I drive in this mashed up van. Every single body panel on it is dented. The bumpers are hanging off, the mirrors held together with tape. The engine's perfect. It used to be used by stables, and it was really battered when we got it, and we've battered it some more. And I just love cars like that, because they really don't matter. I know it's not good. I think one of the tyres is just fractionally bald-ish. About the same as my hair, you know, not a lot of tread left. But, you know, and there was discussions about whether we should buy another car that's like more comfortable and all that stuff. And that is like second-hand, not a new one, a second-hand one, but I don't know what to get, because I want a second-hand electric car, but there aren't any first-hand electric cars yet, so that's kind of hard to get hold of. You know, for sort of tootling around the local area, and it need like 20, 30 miles range. I'd love to be able to, that really breaks my rules, because I know some engineers who would probably be able to convert that van to electric. But that doesn't really solve the problem, because it's still quite uncomfortable and it's still very battered. But to have an electric vehicle like that, is that buying something new? I think it is, because we'd have to buy a new electric motor, and I cannot believe how expensive they are. There's a little electric motor about that big, about that thick, like a little sort of plate. It looks like that. 7,500 quid. Really powerful, tiny little thing. Put one of those on each wheel and you've got a racing car, you know, racing van. And I don't think I can really justify for 28,000, 30,000 pounds conversion of a knackered old van to electricity. I'm not counting the batteries, 10 grand, 12 grand. So let's say 30, 40, say 50,000 quid and we'll convert it to electric and we'll be really environmental. And then when I eventually get my windmill, which I'm still waiting for, next week I'm supposed to ring them and find out. When I get that, then I could charge my electric van with wind-powered electricity for a total expenditure of way less than £55,000. My carbon footprint would be very small, as would the little gravestone that I'd be buried under by the time I get to that point. That is enough. That is enough. Thank you for your support, though, because it actually does help. Weirdly, when I say something about Make and Do and someone leaves a nice comment, it actually helps. I get a little glow. So to all those people that have supported me, I thank you deeply. And I will speak to you soon. I'm off to Cornwall. Bye.